In every generation, there's a kind of man who doesn't fit in. He walks differently, thinks differently. No matter how hard he tries, he can't blend into the crowd. He's the man who stays up at night questioning his path. The man who feels the weight of something greater but can't explain why, is misunderstood, misjudged, and often mislabeled. And the world doesn't understand him because he wasn't built for it. He was built for purpose. When God chooses a man for a divine mission, he doesn't place him immediately in comfort. He places him in separation. Not to punish him, but to prepare him. Every chosen man walks through a season of isolation. It's not because he did something wrong, but because God is doing something right within him. When God marks a man for purpose, he removes him from the noise. He takes away the voices that distract. He silences the world around him so that he can finally hear heaven. Remember David? He wasn't discovered in the palace. He was trained in the fields alone, forgotten, unseen. While his brothers stood tall before kings, David fought lions and bears where no one was watching. That's where his courage was built. That's where his faith was tested. That's where God whispered. So if you're in a silent season right now, if it feels like no one sees your struggle, understand this. You are not being rejected. You are being refined. Before the spotlight comes, solitude. Before the crown comes, the cave. Before destiny comes discipline. When God sets you apart, he starts cutting things off. People drift away. Opportunities vanish. Relationships end. And it feels painful because your human heart sees loss.
Oh.
But your spiritual eyes must see protection. Some people were sent only for your past, not for your purpose. They can't carry the weight of your calling. So God removes them before they ruin what he's building. Jesus said in John 15:2, "Every branch that bears fruit, he prunes so that it may bear more fruit. Pruning hurts, but pruning proves that you're growing." The chosen man learns to stop chasing who left and start preparing for what's next. Because peace is better than popularity, purpose is better than company, and destiny is better than comfort. Hidden before revealed, before God elevates a man, he hides him. It's not because he's unqualified, but because exposure too early can destroy what isn't ready. Joseph had dreams of greatness long before the palace, but before the robe and the ring came betrayal, slavery, and prison. That prison wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Because God was building the character to carry the calling. Isaiah 49:2 says, "He made me a polished arrow and concealed me in his quiver." God hides his strongest warriors until their aim is steady, because destiny requires development. An untrained hand cannot handle divine weight, so when God hides you, don't curse the cave. He's shaping your strength in silence. The pain of loneliness, every chosen man faces a moment when loneliness becomes his only companion. The phone stops ringing. The invitations fade. The crowd disappears. And in that emptiness, you begin to hear two voices, the voice of doubt and the voice of God. Doubt tells you you're forgotten, but God whispers, you're being formed. James 1:2-4 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers, when you face trials of many kinds, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Loneliness becomes the forge where endurance, wisdom, and clarity are born." Because when you stop depending on applause, you learn to depend on God. When you stop chasing validation, you find your value in his presence. And when you stop seeking the crowd, you finally find your calling. Alignment with the divine, the reason God allows a chosen man to walk alone, is to realign his soul with heaven. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." That stillness is not laziness, it's intimacy. In the quiet, your desires get purified. Your motives get tested. Your vision becomes clear. When you have no one left to lean on, you finally learn to lean on God. Because true strength isn't found in followers, it's found in faith. True power doesn't come from the crowd, it comes from connection. And when your spirit aligns with his will, you stop walking alone. You start walking led. The revelation of the chosen when the time is right. God reveals what he has been shaping in secret. The man who once walked alone, who cried in silence, who fought unseen battles, steps into his purpose. And the same people who doubted him now call him lucky, but they'll never understand the nights he prayed through, the loneliness he survived, and the pain he turned into power. Because chosen men are not made in comfort, they are forged in solitude. So if you're walking through that season right now, don't curse it. Use it. Let it build you. Because the same silence that broke you will become the strength that builds you. When you finally rise, you won't need validation because you'll know who sent you. You'll realize you were never walking alone. God was walking with you all along. If this story touched your soul, remember, being chosen means being different. It means walking through fire while others sleep through comfort. But the fire doesn't burn you, it refines you. Drop a comment, "I'm still chosen." Because this season isn't your ending, it's your awakening.